Hey, hey, hey. I'm going to give a few minutes for people to hop on. Hey, gonna drink me some tea. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome. Okay, so let me know in the comments if my sound is okay. Hopefully it is. Let me know in the comments. And as you come in, let me know your name and where you are in the world watching this so I can say hello. I'm just going to pop out the chat so I can see it. There we go. Hey, hey, hey. So today we are going to be talking about the signs of a soul tie. I am super excited about this, you guys. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Alyssa. I am a Christian certified life coach, and I help women recognize themselves again and live life confidently after experiencing a toxic relationship or dealing with church trauma, okay? As you can see in the title today, we are discussing the signs of a soul tie. Make sure you comment below with your first name and let me know where you are in the world so I can say hey. Also, do me a favor, if you know anyone that might be struggling with a soul tie, go ahead and share this video with them. And feel free to ask any questions throughout. I am going to be taking some questions towards the end. Okay, so today we are asking the question, what are the signs of a soul tie? Okay. So when I think about my experience with this, about 4 years ago, I experienced a soul tie myself. At the time, I had no idea it was a soul tie whatsoever. To be honest, I wasn't even aware that you could have a soul tie that was not within a sexual relationship. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but within church, the only thing I heard about a soul tie was it's negative and it's within a sexual type of relationship. Was that just me? Like, let me know below if you can relate to that. Comment like, yep, that's me too. That's all I heard. So yes, here I was discovering that this friendship was out of alignment with my life, and it was actually a soul tie. Getting out of this relationship was so messy, and I'm going to be honest, it hurt like heck, okay? When you break a soul tie or tear a soul tie, however you want to say it, it hurts. It's a painful experience. It actually reminds me of this illustration. I don't know if you guys know Pastor Todd of Transformation Church. I love his sermons. But he had this one on soul ties, and he had these two pieces of paper together, and it was glued together. They were like dried. And what he did is he ripped them apart, and you could see like how the souls were fragmented and like broken up. It's like each soul had pieces of the other soul with it. And that was his description of a soul tie. And I thought that was so good because most people who go through soul ties, they feel fragmented. They don't feel like how they were in the beginning of the relationship. And if they happen to just keep going around making all of these soul ties, they find themselves just really broken apart and struggling. So that was the best illustration ever. So maybe you're watching this live or you're going to catch the replay and you're like, that's me. I've been stuck. I feel like I'm all over the place and I'm glued to this person and I can't get rid of them. This is why today we're talking about the signs of a soul tie. And I want to give you the clarity on why it's been so hard for you to move on and my reasoning behind how to finally be free from a soul tie. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about, what exactly is a soul tie? So if you caught my live last Tuesday, we were talking about the soul. So if we break up the word soul tie, we have that soul component. The soul is your mind, your emotions, and your will. So when you are soul tied to someone, they are tied to your mind, how you think, your beliefs, your emotions, how you feel, and then your will, what you do. So a soul tie is when someone is connected to your soul. And you can have both unhealthy as well as healthy soul ties as well. You can have sexual and non-sexual soul ties. Most people have heard that sexual soul ties are a thing. And if you basically have sex with someone that, yes, you are opening yourself to a soul tie, I think that is like a normal thing discussed. However, you can have a non-sexual soul tie. So in the Bible, an example of a non-sexual soul tie was Jonathan and David. I thought this was really interesting because I honestly did not know that this was in the Bible. 1 Samuel 18:1, it says, the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. So there you got it. They're friends, but their souls were knit together. It was tied together. So I was listening to a sermon like the other day by Sarah Jakes Roberts, and one of the things that stuck out to me that she said is vulnerability creates an atmosphere for the spirit to come in. If you're being vulnerable with someone, if you're letting your guard down, opening yourself up, then you are making room for a spiritual connection. Whether you realize it or not, that is what's going on. And that's one of the reasons why you can't just have like casual sex and think that a soul tie can't be formed, because that action requires a form of vulnerability and openness. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why the Bible talks about using discernment, not being unequally yoked with people, how bad company corrupts good character, practicing abstinence, celibacy. The Bible mentions this thing because if anything can get in your soul, it can literally affect all the other areas of your life. It says to guard your heart with due diligence because out of it flows the issues of life, okay? So you do not just want to be opening your souls to anybody, but if it happened like it happened to me, then I'm here for you. So what are the 5 signs that you're dealing with a soul tie? So number 1, you start acting like them unknowingly, okay? Maybe you're normally kind and patient, but then you start hanging out with someone and you start being angry like they are. The interesting thing is you normally can't see it, but everybody else can see like that you are morphing into this other person. If you think about a healthy relationship, it's normal. Like if you see best friends, it's normal for them to say things or to give that look, and they know what it means. They just have that connection. It's normal to kind of morph into the other person. But within a healthy soul tie, you're not just morphing into them, you're also becoming like a better version of yourself. You're not changing in a like bad, corrupting way. So, and I did share in my healing story on my channel how I completely changed, okay? I was acting different. I was treating people different. I looked different. I was getting my nails done. I don't really like acrylic nails. I was getting my nails done. I was going shopping. I was dyeing my hair like this bright red color. I think it was cute, but it's just not something that I normally would have done. But I was totally like morphing, and it really wasn't in a path that I wanted to go into. And everybody else could see it, but I totally could not see it. Two, so the second sign that you're dealing with a soul tie is you're constantly thinking about that person. So it's been years since y'all broke up and you're still thinking about them. You're wondering what they're doing. You might still be Facebook stalking them, trying to be all up in their business. And your mind is actually still holding place for that person. It's like you guys aren't even broken up. Like in your mind, still a place for that person. And you might have tried to get rid of them and everything else, but in your mind, you're still going back to that person. Three, you're emotional. Every time you talk about them or when this person is brought up, you get super emotional. It's not like you're unbothered, you don't want to hear about them anymore, or you moved on, lesson learned. It's more like you are still emotionally attached to that person. Like you come off as you like miss that person. You deeply love that person. You're still hurt by what happened, that type of thing. Four is they kind of haunt you. So I could not find a better word to say this, but they kind of haunt you. This is when you want to be completely over the relationship. You've processed it, you learn, but you have intrusive thoughts about them. Okay, you might have images, like just random images pop in your head. You might dream about them. And you're kind of like, what the heck? Like, why am I still dealing with this? Okay. For me, I normally get attacked within my dreams. That's how God like communicates with me. So my dreams are normally what gets attacked. So for me, when I was going through this, I had moved on. I had did everything I was supposed to do. And then like I would still be having dreams. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, why am I still having dreams? Like I've moved on. I've forgiven this person. So yes, it's like a haunting thing because it's like you genuinely like have moved on, but for some reason they're still there in your head. Five, you found it hard to leave even when you know the relationship was bad for you. It's almost like it would have been easier to stay in that relationship than to leave. And easier because it's like you could not fathom like leaving this person, disconnecting, ripping apart from this person. So you found it harder to leave than to stay. So if you're like listening to this, you're watching the replay and you're like, you know what? Like, I want to be free. I don't want to have the intrusive thoughts anymore. I don't want to be wondering about what they're doing. I don't want to be spiritually tied to someone. Like, I want to move on. I want to live my life. This is what I did. Okay. So, as Christians, we have the power to basically declare that we don't want to be attached to anything anymore. That's just by the power of your words, okay? Your words are life or death. So you could literally just say, and this is what I did, you could literally say, like, I don't want to be attached to so-and-so anymore. And then I repented. For me, this relationship was like a form of idling someone. It was also filling this soul void for me. I started going to this person more than I was going to God. I started putting this person above a lot of things in my life that I shouldn't have. So I repented, because, like, for one, you can't really heal. Like, you can't ask God to heal you and forgive you, but you don't repent or admit your action in it too. So I repented as well. So I declared that I didn't want to be attached to this anymore. I repented for what I did. And then um, I also declared that I was tied to God and my husband because I am married. So I declared what I wanted to be tied to. That is important because you want to reestablish your relationship with God, and you also want to vocalize that. Like, not to get so deep, but spiritually, so there is a spiritual realm out here. If you don't know that as a Christian, you should. And you want to tell, like, the spiritual realm, like, hey, no, like, my temple is God. I am connected to God. So that's what you do. You accept God in your life. And then after that, it's that soul work that we talked about last week. It's making sure that, yes, you're worshiping, you're praying, you're saying your affirmations, but you're also like working on your mindset. You're sitting with God and journaling. You're dealing with some of those emotions and wounds from your childhood. You're trying to figure out, okay, why do I keep getting triggered about this, God? You're trying to figure out, what are my resources for this? Like, if you need therapy, go to therapy. If you need a coach, get a coach. If you need to just be by yourself for a season, be by yourself. Learn yourself. Learn to love yourself. That is how you break free from a soul tie. In my experience, I had to cut them off. I tried to do the whole thing where I'm aware of what's going on and I'm still going to try to be nice. That doesn't work spiritually, because when you are soul tied, it's like a magnet, okay? Like, y'all are tied. Every time you put that magnet within distance to the other magnet, it's like pulling you in. So that's why sometimes, like, you might find yourself getting like mad at the person and you want to leave, but because you didn't leave, like, that thing just keeps coming back. You just keep getting pulled to it. So when it comes to breaking a soul tie, it is best to, like, be by yourself, get away from them if you can, and break it off that way. Give yourself time to build up that foundation with God and to basically, like, reestablish your relationship with God, with yourself, going over your mindset, your identity, who you are. So that is so important. So I hope that that helped those who are dealing with soul ties. It is so important that we use our authority that God has given us to declare that we are not attached to something that we don't want in our lives, that we weren't supposed to be attached to in the first place. So make sure that you're speaking over yourself, that you're declaring whose you are and who you are, and not just sitting with intrusive thoughts or getting images about this person. At the end of the day, you have the authority spiritually to declare what you want to be attached to and where you want to go. And from there, you can then start establishing a stronger foundation of yourself learning to recognize yourself again. That's what I help people do. Learning to live life confidently again after that, learning to trust yourself again, that you're not going to make a dumb decision. That's how I put it to my therapist. I took therapy, and I literally was telling her, like, I didn't make a good choice last time, so like I'm kind of putting myself on timeout. So you have to learn how to build that trust up with yourself again. Love yourself, know yourself, deal with yourself, and then once that foundation is solid, once that soul work is solid, then nobody could come in and just invite themselves without you knowing. So those were the 5 signs that you're dealing with a soul tie, as well as how to break free from it. If you haven't already, go ahead and connect with me on Instagram at Nouriched Soul. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what your one takeaway was. Just DM me on Instagram so we can continue the conversation. Until next time, guys, happy healing.